Hello everyone, and welcome to Kaiju Movie Review. This time around I wanted to review something different, a little more toward my preference for monster movies. So today's movie is Gamera the Invincible, the first Gamera movie. It was created in 1965 to compete with who else but the king, Godzilla. I would also like to quickly note that I am reviewing the American cut of the film for those who have actually seen or own the Japanese version. Gamera is a giant turtle monster that appears after being trapped in ice for what is guessed to be millions of years. He is released when a Russian plane carrying a nuclear device is shot down over the area where he is lying dormant. Upon crashing, the atomic device explodes, causing the ice to rip open and setting the monster free. He possesses the ability to breathe fire, and he can also fly, which is a bit different, but most of these movies are like that, so don't worry about it. The origins of Gamera are not really explained either, just that he is supposed to have lived since the early days of Earth and was somehow frozen. Like Godzilla, Gamera started off his film career as a bad guy, although the reasons for him being a bad guy are not really explained. He just shows up and decides to lay waste to everything. However, he isn't quite a bad guy as he has a soft spot for children and goes as far as saving one during the movie. But honestly, if you watch this movie, Gamera saving that kid seemed like a fluke. Later in the movie he is shown rampaging through a large city killing who knows how many children. Not to mention he rips open the tops of buildings just to spew fiery breath on the people inside. I honestly think that's a bit harsh for someone who's supposed to be the friend of all children. But I guess he isn't given that moniker until his second film and through the rest of the Showa era. Gamera is pretty much immune to every attack the military throws at him, which isn't anything new for these kinds of movies, except that because he was frozen at the beginning of the movie, freezing him again is the obvious choice. They also explain that Gamera feeds on fire and certain types of fuel. The film begins with an expedition that is sent to the northern part of North America to find a safe passage that goes over the top of the continent. Along for the expedition is Dr. Hidaka, a zoologist, and his two companions who are sent to research some of the life forms of the region. Their group encounters a tribe of Eskimos, but shortly after a Russian bomber is shot down, causing its nuclear payload to detonate on impact and freeing Gamera from under the ice. The tribe leader gives Dr. Hidaka a stone tablet with a large turtle on it, and tells him about the legend of the monster Gamera. The monster turtle proceeds to destroy the expedition's boat, leaving Dr. Hidaka and his assistants as the only survivors. We then get a barrage of pointless scenes that don't help the movie's storyline at all and just seem forced. After that, we meet Miss Sakurai and her younger brother Toshiro, who is later saved by Gamera when he attacks their home. Later, the United Nations holds a meeting to develop a plan to deal with Gamera. Most of the Japanese actors in this film seem to do a decent job, while a lot of the randomly inserted English actors were just bland. The voice actors provided a poor performance, delivering some awkward lines with a lack of enthusiasm. The only character with any type of development is the young boy Toshiro. He is a reclusive boy whose only friend is a small pet turtle. Naturally, after being saved by Gamera, he attempts to befriend him, but ends up causing problems for other people in the process. This is another movie where there isn't much to be said about the actors. The special effects were pretty solid for the time and budget of the movie. The Gamera suit is strange looking, but not bad, and is a lot more maneuverable than it looks. There is one scene of Gamera walking around on all fours, which looks kind of strange as the puppet they used is somewhat awkward. Some of the effects for Gamera's fire breathing are interesting, while there is at least one error where you can see the fire device inside of its mouth. The miniatures are also well done, making the city destruction and military attack scenes a great experience. While there are a few scenes of weak or strange special effect work, it's not really enough to make note of. Even though this film was made during the mid-60s, it was still filmed in black and white, making it one of the last kaiju movies to be filmed without color. I found that a little odd, however, I am still unsure if it was due to lack of budget or it was the creator's choice. It doesn't take away from the film, it just seems a little bit strange. I could continue to go on and on about this movie, but I'm not here to tell you about the whole show. I did think this was an interesting movie, but it was just presented rather poorly. There are a lot of quick cuts and strange transitions. Also, the forced-in English actors just seem to complicate the movie, making it overly confusing. There are also a few scenes that don't help the movie's plot at all, and it would have been better without them. The special effects in Gamera are the real highlights of this movie. But again, I said they were good for the budget of the film, so they're weak when compared to something like a Godzilla movie. If you have seen the movie from my first review, Yongary Monster from the Deep, you will notice some key similarities between the two movies. Shows you how original some people are. I would like to mention again that this is the American cut of the film, meaning that there are added scenes with English actors and some alteration to the story to appeal to American audiences. However, these changes are done poorly and the movie suffers because of it. Generally, all classic Gamera movies are a little wacky and geared towards a younger audience. If you are a Kaiju fan and haven't seen these movies, you are really missing out. Because this is a Gamera movie, I would love to give this movie a 3 out of 5. But I can't be biased, so the movie only gets a 2 out of 5.